Hello and welcome to John's Author Diary for the week ending September the 23rd, 2018. I am full of cold this week, so I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I think basically with my wife and son back at school, they are bringing home the germs of the children. So I've had a snotty nose all week and now it's gone to my chest and throat. So I don't think my voice is going to last that long. I've carried on work on The Empress this week. So this is the next book in my Ravenglass Chronicles. It's the one that follows the High Priestess. And so I'm about halfway through the second draft. Now what I'm finding with these drafts at the moment is, as I'm writing the second draft, I seem to be doubling my word count. So I'm filling in all those little details, all the little world building things and internal dialogue and things like that. So I've got the process down really well now. It feels like the first draft is definitely about just getting the story out and making sure that the core of the story is there, and then the second draft is all about giving the fantasy readers what they want, which is all the little details about the world and the magic and the politics and all the little character details that hit people on what I hope will be a deep emotional level. So I mentioned last week that I'm trying to read some classics in the fantasy genre just to give myself a firmer footing. So I finished the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings, and I enjoyed it. It is a good story, it's a classic, and it's obviously a very influential book, but I definitely prefer modern fantasy in the sense that I think J.R.R. Tolkien was a master of world building and a master of creating believable settings. But what I want from stories is character and story. And I felt like story was a bit of an afterthought. I think Tolkien just loved his world so much that he begrudgingly shoehorned in a story just so he could show off his world-building prowess, which is fine. I think people like Brandon Sanderson, Brian McClellan and Dylan Kushner handle the fantasy genre in much more satisfying ways. But, you know, these things are subjective. This is my opinion. So, having finished the Fellowship of the Ring, I've gone on to read another classic, and this is one that I've never read. This is called The Last Unicorn by Peter Beagle, and I thought I was going to cringe at this because I've never read a story about a unicorn before. I thought it might be like the, not the modern version, but the 1980s kind of cutesy My Little Pony kind of stuff that was around when I was a kid, and it's nothing like that at all. It's actually really moving, really well told. I'm about 4 chapters in, and so far I am really enjoying it, so that's good. I've just got back from visiting a friend in Shipley in West Yorkshire, so I travelled back from there on the train this morning. We had a few drinks around Saltaire, and I got to have a ale that was named after my son. Well, I don't know if it was actually named after him directly, but it had the same name. And so that was good, just to catch up with a mate and just have fun for a few days. So next week, I aim to do my second draft of The Empress and get a final proofread done on The High Priestess. So I've got quite a long buffer, really, in terms of pre-order, but I want to get that out as soon as possible and keep people's interest who've bought The Magician. So if I could get that out in the first week of October, that'll be perfect. So I've had no questions this week, but if you want to send me a question, it's john@johncronshaw.com, or you could tweet me at JLCronshaw. If you're interested in checking out the first episode of the Ravenglass Chronicles, which is the epic fantasy serial that I'm working on, you can do that for free on Amazon. Simply go to tinyurl.com/Ravenglass and start reading today. So until next time, cheerio.